Tonight, brand new images of the horrific conditions at a Richmond apartment complex that prompted city officials to shut it down.
In fact, take a look at this. NBC 12 is the first to get our hands on these photos from inside the Grace Place apartments, where residents were told last Friday to leave because it's no longer safe to live there. On your side, Brent Solomon joining us live from that area tonight. Brent, it seems pretty obvious these conditions didn't happen overnight.
They sure didn't, Kurt. In fact, I got my hands on these city documents that show that city officials reached out to the managers here to tell them there were a series of violations that needed to be addressed right away. That happened back in August. When those violations weren't resolved, the city stepped in some 2 months later to take action.
Who could forget these images of residents at Grace Place Apartments packing up in a hurry after being told that same day their units are no longer safe to live in.
Oh, please stop filming. Please cut your camera off.
Friday, an official with the apartments didn't like that we were there. We stayed so that you could know exactly why this was happening. In fact, we even pulled the city's inspection records. Back in August, inspectors found rooms and stairwells damaged by water leaking from the roof. In fact, the entire 11th floor has been declared unsafe due to severe leaking. Authorities say they even found standing water on the floor.
In paperwork that NBC 12 uncovered, I also found that a resident here told authorities that her ceiling caved in and that the apartment allegedly wouldn't move her into another unit, although they still expected rent.
Authorities also discovered more problems: non-working elevators, alarms, and equipment to prevent and put out fires in need of repair. After meeting with management this week, city officials say the complex has begun work to reverse some of those violations. But there is still much more work to be done, meaning residents here must continue living away from their own homes.
They've paid full rental value, and they haven't gotten in return full rental value.
Marty Wegbright is with the Central Virginia Legal Aid Society. He wants to make sure people who live here fight for their rights by communicating with the apartment's owners.
They should be hearing from tenants who are justifiably angry and upset about what has happened, because it is ultimately the landlord's responsibility to maintain fit and habitable premises. Without proper fire suppression, alarms, or elevators, only by the grace of God have they avoided tragedy, and no one should have to live like that.
I've reached out to the managers here at Grace Place several times, no response just yet, but I did find out through these documents that managers here are actually looking for a contractor to sanitize the building because city inspectors say the entire premises needs to be disinfected. Live in Richmond on your side tonight, Brent Solomon, NBC 12.
All right, thank you, Brent. Good work there.